do we?
Here, the town manager, who was going to give you an intro.
All right. Well, I think, are we all set to go, get underway? Yeah? Carissa? She's waiting.
If we were going to have Blythe. You can step right up, Blythe. Okay. Go right ahead. Go for it. Yeah, you got it. This is your town.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Blythe Robinson. I'm the acting town manager here in Bridgewater. On behalf of the town of Bridgewater, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all of you today. It's an honor to have you all gathered here. My apologies about the cold weather. We're thrilled to host all of you here at Bridgewater State University, and we're excited to be a part of today's important announcement. The town of Bridgewater has been long committed to fostering innovation and supporting the growth of higher education, and we're proud to see that commitment reflected in today's announcement. The town highly values BSU as one of the state's incredible state universities. Bridgewater State is a benefit not only to the students that enroll here, but to our entire community. And if I was to try and list all the ways that that partnership has benefited us with the university, my remarks would go on quite long. I'm not going to do that, but just to say Bridgewater State and our state leaders exemplify the continued investment in our students and the community. We began today's program with a tour of the cyber range, a cutting-edge facility that plays a crucial role in preparing students for careers in cybersecurity, an area that's critical to the future of our state and our nation. And our own staff have taken valuable courses there, which is helping keep the town of Bridgewater safe. We look forward to hearing from our distinguished speakers. I know this is an announcement that will have lasting impact on our region and the students. And thank you again for being here. And it's now my honor to introduce the Governor of Massachusetts, Governor Healey.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Town Manager Robinson, and to Council President Kevin Perry. We really appreciate the warm welcome to the great town of Bridgewater this morning. Doesn't matter how cold it is. And you're not... Turns out none of us can control that. But look, we're here this morning alongside Bridgewater State President Fred Clark. We thank you, Fred, to you and the team for everything that you do. And we're here, we believe, in the right place to make a really important announcement. This is an announcement that is about you guys, students. You're the future of our state. You're also the now, okay? We want you to know that. That's most important, but also what we're announcing today is going to help a whole host of people. It's going to help your families, it's going to help your parents, it's going to help our workforce and our employers, it's going to help our workers by creating tens of thousands of great jobs around the state, and it's going to allow us to make the kind of investments that will make Massachusetts more competitive, to continue Massachusetts' leadership on so many fronts. We just came from a super cool cyber range that has been stood up here at Bridgewater State. And, you know, to take in the kinds of work that's going on there is really, really something. This is a cyber range set up on campus. We visited it today because part of what we're talking about, the announcement of capital, okay, the announcement of money that is going to go build stuff, like the construction of this cyber range, it's important for us to be able to see it, to take it in, to talk about it, because we came from a classroom where students are learning real-time skills for cybersecurity degrees. We also learned today it's not just Bridgewater State students, though we love the Bears. It's actually students coming from our regional high schools as well, who are able to come and take advantage of that training. It's also a classroom where our cities and towns come to learn how they can better tighten things for a more secure environment. And it's a place where companies actually come to train on how to better prevent cyber attacks and ensure greater resilience and security within their own system. So, you know, we make announcements. We're making an important announcement today about what we're calling a higher education bond bill. I want you to understand why it matters, what's behind it all, okay? And that my attempt to encapsulate as quickly as possible what's happening here. I'm delighted to be joined today by our fabulous Lieutenant Governor, Kim Driscoll, our Secretary of A&F, Matt Gorkowitz, our Secretary of Education, Pat Tutwiler, Commissioner of Higher Education, Noe Ortega, Commissioner of DCAM, which is basically the entity that controls a lot of the construction that we do, public construction in the state, and Commissioner Adam Backey is here. Chairman Chris Gabrielli of the Board of Higher Ed is here. We're also delighted to be joined by a number of other elected officials. We have Chair Mike Rodrigues. Thanks, Mike, for being here with us today and for all your support for all things higher ed. Senator Bill Driscoll, Representative Dennis Gallagher, Governor's Counselor Tamisha Civil, and members of the Higher Education Capital Working Group. Sean Nelson, Executive Director, Mass State College Building Authority, Vincent Pedone, Massachusetts State University's Council of Presidents, President Bill Mitchell, Massasoit Community College, DCAM Deputy Commissioner Peter Brigham, DCAM Deputy Director of Planning Sarah Felton. We also have our Undersecretary of A&F, Mark Fine, with us as well. We've got state college and university leaders because while we're here on the great campus of Bridgewater State, the announcement that we're making today is going to help and support all of our campuses, both through the University of Massachusetts system and also through our other wonderful state colleges and universities. So Chancellor Marcelo Suarez Orozco from UMass Boston, Chancellor Mark Fuller, UMass Dartmouth, President John Cox, Cape Cod Community College, President Ellen Kennedy, Berkshire Community College, President Phil Sisson, Middlesex Community College, President Linda Thompson, Westfield State University, President Barry Maloney, Worcester State University, Rear Admiral Francis McDonald, Mass Maritime Academy, President Dave Podell, Mass Bay Community College. I mentioned that we just toured this great facility, the cybersecurity room, and it's an example of what's possible when you make investments. What we're here to provide today is an opportunity for every student at every state university, every UMass campus, every community college in Massachusetts to have a better experience, an experience that's going to bring fulfillment and job satisfaction, career satisfaction. Also will make an impact and have a transformative impact on the economic landscape of our state. Last week we announced a big investment in transportation. Did you catch that? $8 billion, that's with a B. That's big time investment in transportation. And it's about improving the MBTA, the commuter rail. It's also about improving our roads and bridges. And, look, when we came to this, there were so many things that for years, for decades, just hadn't been done. Investments hadn't been made. And there were any number of reasons why people kicked the can down the road. But we said, as long as we're here as a team, we're going to take a shot at it, okay? We're going to get after the thorny, the hard, the stuff that gets in the way, whether you're a homeowner or a resident here in Massachusetts or a business trying to make a go. We're going to take on the things. That's why we've leaned into and prioritized housing, transportation. Today is another example of that. And I do want to acknowledge and appreciate our colleagues in the legislature, because over the last year, we were able to get some really big things done. And I look forward to more of this. I think this is my first bill out of the gate in this new session. But to me, it's a further example of the work that we've been doing, okay, in terms of investments in stuff that really matters to people's lives, the kinds of investments that we want to make. So today, what we're dealing with is the fact that a lot of our public universities and colleges haven't really been invested in a major way since the time many of them were built, which is before I was born, which is a pretty long time ago. And that's a problem that spanned probably most of our lifetimes here. It's just not the way to give our residents the education that they deserve. It's not the way to power this modern economy that we are in. So, as I said, we refuse to kick the can down the road when it comes to educating our young people and training our workforce for tomorrow. So we're filing this legislation to invest billions of dollars in our public higher education campuses. For our students, it's going to give you the cutting-edge education that you all need. For parents, it means you can send your kids to schools that are state-of-the-art and also affordable. For jobs, this is a jobs bill. This is a jobs bill. We estimate tens of thousands of jobs, great paying construction jobs, as a result of the build-outs that will occur in these facilities. And we're going to be using skilled union labor. My thanks to the Massachusetts Building Trades, to the AFL-CIO, and all of their members who are going to work to power us forward. And as a state, it's going to make us more competitive. I want to thank Jay Ash from the Mass Competitive Partnership. He's teamed up already with cybersecurity infrastructure to make sure that we are bringing the best that we can to the private sector. And it's a kind of public-private partnership that we really appreciate and want to leverage in the state. So what are we calling this? We're calling it the BRIGHT Act. An act, you're laughing? Yeah. You got to call it something. It's beautiful. It's a really beautiful name. The BRIGHT Act. An act to build resilient infrastructure to generate higher ed transformation, okay? Transformation. It's going to create labs, facilities that meet the needs of today, including life sciences, climate technology programming, web development, robotics and automation, advanced manufacturing, construction, and so forth. It's going to support health facilities, housing development, art spaces, and more. And it's also going to help us recruit our students who want to go to a place where they're going to get a world-class education at world-class facilities. Fundamentally, the BRIGHT Act is an investment in our future. It's the kind of investment that we need to make. Let me say something about our public schools, too. Our public colleges and universities, you know we've gone big as an administration in investment in education generally, K-12, okay, but also higher education. We know that our state university graduates, they stay in Massachusetts. They work and build careers and families in Massachusetts, and we want to support them. And last year, working with the legislature, we did something that was also important. We found a way to expand state financial aid to Massachusetts residents to make it more affordable at our public colleges and universities. We made our 15 community colleges cost-free, and the results have been game-changing. Enrollments are going through the roof, and that's important because we're going to have a workforce that is all the more prepared, all the more trained, right, to fill what we need to fill for employment and competitive economic growth here in the state. So super pumped about all of this, and I'm going to bring forward the person who helps make it all work by making the math work, and he was also responsible for figuring out how we could, as a state for the first time, leverage our excellent bond rating and secure greater access to capital to the tune of $8 billion for transportation. He's looked at what we can do here for financing and helped as the architect, one of the architects of our proposed BRIGHT Act, and the Secretary of A&F, Matt Gorkowitz.
Thank you, Governor Healey, and thank you, President Clark and the Bridgewater State community for hosting us today. Thank you. It's great to be with you here today for this exciting announcement. Massachusetts is home to the best education system in the country, thanks in large part to our public community colleges, our state universities, and our UMass system. And today we're taking a major step forward to ensure that these institutions can continue to set the bar high for affordable, accessible public education. Our announcement today is informed by the work of the legislatively created Higher Education Capital Working Group, which began meeting last summer. The working group brought together state agencies, legislators, higher ed campuses, and other stakeholders, and I'm pleased that many of the members are able to join us here today, so thank you for being here. With a better understanding of the challenges facing higher education, The working group quantified the infrastructure needs, identified a new source of capital to support higher education transformation, and considered options for best deploying the resources to benefit students, institutions, our workforce, and the Commonwealth as a whole. Ultimately, the work of this legislative commission helped affirm the necessity of the plan we are putting forward today. With the higher education bond bill we're filing today, the BRIGHT Act, we're presenting an innovative and financially sound solution to the problem of unmet capital needs on our campuses. Under our plan, we will leverage fair share surtax revenues to expand the amount of available funds, unlocking new resources to address mounting deferred maintenance needs and for building modern new classrooms, upgrading and decarbonizing energy systems, and outfitting labs with cutting-edge technology. Since going into effect for the first full year in 2024, the fair share surtax revenue has performed well, generating over $2.4 billion in FY24 for transportation and education, constitutionally dedicated to those purposes. Our forecast for similar collections in FY25 and 26. But our plan entails doing much more than just spending these fair share dollars. The Governor's House 1 budget, which we will file tomorrow, will recommend appropriating $125 million of fair share revenue annually to support the issuance of special obligation bonds, unlocking approximately $2.5 billion in new borrowing over the next 10 years. This financing structure, while new for higher education, is modeled on what is already a proven and successful credit which has been used to fund important transportation investments over a decade now through our Commonwealth Transportation Fund. State capital investments for higher education have historically relied on general obligation bonds funded through our annual capital plan. However, given the constraints of our capital plan, major capital projects for higher ed have not kept pace with the growing deferred maintenance needs and the goals of campus decarbonization plans. We have been losing ground on both fronts. So it's not an exaggeration to say that our proposal will mark a turning point for higher education in Massachusetts, ensuring we finally have dedicated resources at a scale large enough to allow us to start tackling the growing challenges we're facing. I want to thank members of the working group for their dedication and guidance and their work over the past several months on the plan being put forward today. I want to recognize the leadership of Governor Healey, Lieutenant Governor Driscoll, as well as Secretary Tutwiler, my fellow cabinet members, and my staff at ANF, and the team at DCAM, led by Commissioner Bakey, who has been instrumental in helping to not only propel the commission forward, but providing a lot of data and information necessary in formulating the recommendations today. And thank you all, and appreciate your presence here today for this important announcement. I'll now turn it over to Secretary of Education, Secretary Tutwiler. Thank you.
Well, now, good morning. How's everyone feeling? You ready to just sort of jump out of those chairs with enthusiasm? Okay, all right. They are, all right. The recipients of this, that's awesome. So Governor introduced Secretary Gorkowitz as the sort of finance person behind this, the person who made the math work. Think of me as a very sort of large ambassador of spirit for what this will mean, this incredible investment. Very quickly, I just want to thank Governor Healey, Lieutenant Governor Driscoll, President Clark, my colleague, DHE Commissioner Ortega, the Commissioner of DCAM, Commissioner Bakey, as well as our partners in the legislature, Chair Rodriguez, and all of the local leaders who are here to celebrate this incredible announcement. Today is a really good day, my friends, and I'm going to talk about it, but first thing I want to do just really quickly is lift up the experience that we just had right next door. President Clark, this is probably my fourth or fifth time in that range. Shout out to my colleague, Michelle Stanfield, for her leadership there. That space... That space is just incredible, and we saw firsthand, both today and on previous visits, exactly what this will mean for the students who have the opportunity to experience. As we see it, we're preparing the next cadre of leaders who know how to respond to or prevent cyber attacks, and that's what this is all about here, what we're here to celebrate this morning. We're preparing students for high-demand careers that are needed today and in the future. Now, in my short tenure as Secretary of Education, I've spoken often about our three guiding principles. They are stabilize, heal, and transform. As Governor Healey has already shared, we hit the ground running, making major investments in student affordability in year one. We made four-year colleges and universities more affordable for families, particularly those who are economically disadvantaged, and opened the door for thousands of adults to attend community college, putting higher education in reach and helping fulfill in-demand jobs. In year two, we made community college free, regardless of age, and expanded student wraparound supports to state universities for the first time, a program that has found success, no pun intended, helping students persist and graduate at the community college level. And we released a set of recommendations to help colleges and universities welcome diverse, representative student bodies and help them to both persist and thrive, very aligned with our core values in this administration. And in year three, the transformation continues. Not only do we want to support students with access to and persistence in higher education, but we want to make sure that what they're learning aligns with the jobs of today and the future, and that institutions have the resources to build facilities and install the equipment for them. These spaces are where students and educators spend a lot of time, which can promote or inhibit learning. The Bright Act investments announced today will enable students to learn in more modern, greener, safer, and innovative environments. This funding will go a long way toward transforming our higher ed campuses and facilities to ensure that Massachusetts remains the best place to pursue a 2 or 4 year degree. It will also help us make progress on our climate goals, which is essential for ensuring that students have secure futures. Across Massachusetts, we are known for our excellent public higher education. We're also known for excellent early education. We're also known for excellent pre-K through 12 education, just saying. But all of this drives innovation and strengthens our economy. If anyone, now there's a lot of cameras up there, zoom in on this face. If anyone out there is interested in pursuing higher education, come to Massachusetts. We are investing in your future. I want to end this morning with a very deep and heartfelt thank you to the educators who are in the room right now, who work closely and so brilliantly with students. This investment will provide the equipment and the space, but you facilitate the learning and development. Thank you for your dedication and commitment, and thank you for preparing the next generation for exciting and fulfilling careers. And with that, it is my pleasure to turn it over to our host this morning, President Clark.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Governor Healey, we're so excited to have you at Bridgewater State University. Lieutenant Governor Driscoll, who is a parent of a Bridgewater graduate, I'm just saying. Yep. Secretary Tutwiler, Secretary Gorkowitz, Commissioner Ortega, Chair Gabrielli, Commissioner Bakey, Chair Rodericks, who's here, elected officials, our friend Jay Ash from the Mass Competitive Partnership, and colleagues from public higher education who are with us, and also from the town of Bridgewater. On behalf of our trustees who are in the room, our faculty, our staff, and most importantly, our 10,000 students, some of whom are visiting with us today, even though classes start tomorrow. By the way, this is a typical college class. Nobody sits in the front row, ever. We are truly honored you've chosen Bridgewater State University for this historic announcement. To all of you, welcome to BSU. All 29 of our public higher education campuses, which collectively educate more than 150,000 students, all have a deep backlog of deferred maintenance. At Bridgewater State University alone, we have more than $200 million in deferred maintenance needs. And Governor, as you could see by visiting our cybersecurity range, which is the most sophisticated in New England, excellent, well-maintained facilities are absolutely critical to advancing our mission, to supporting our students, and to prepare them for the jobs not only of today, but of tomorrow. Now, BSU is a large institution. We really are. It's a big campus. We have 2 million square feet of building space spread over 278 acres. And yes, we're proud to have been ranked by the Wall Street Journal as one of the top colleges and universities in America for our return on investment for the students that we're privileged to serve. We're also the third safest campus in the United States and the third most welcoming campus in America for LGBTQIA students as well. But even considering all of those accolades rolled up, what we're proud of more than anything else is that we are the most affordable pathway to a 4-year degree in New England. And all of us in higher education, public higher education, are affordable pathways to the future. The commitment that we've been able to make in regards to affordability is made possible by the state government. Obviously by institutional funds, by private funds, by the federal government, but it's the state government that makes it happen. Affordability in public higher education is absolutely essential for our students, right? It's essential for our students. And this capital bond bill, I didn't know the name of it till now, the BRIGHT Act, it was between Bright and Bridgewater, they weren't sure. Yeah. It is absolutely essential to help us enhance affordability on our campuses. Now, at Bridgewater, I could be specific and talk about our ADA challenges or our 55-year-old HVAC systems or the need for tens of millions of dollars to decarbonize the campus or work necessary to maintain miles of roadways and sidewalks and thousands of parking spaces. But for all of us, the 29 of us that lead public higher ed and everyone who works there and studies there, the importance of deferred maintenance funding is all about keeping these campuses affordable for the students that we're privileged to serve. This campus and our buildings are owned by the state, after all, and the state must rise up to take care of what it owns. Frankly, I think it's wrong to expect students to pay for the upkeep of state buildings on our campuses. But for many, many years, our students have increasingly done exactly that. As our friend Chair Rodrigues reminded me this morning, he's been on campus all day, we won't let him go. Fair share funding, the millionaire's tax, it's been mentioned by the governor and by the secretaries. That funding is a key part of the state's current ability to meet the growing deferred maintenance challenges in higher education, and as we heard from the governor's State of the Commonwealth last week, also at the T. We're investing in trains and brains, thanks to the sacrifices of those that provide that extra revenue support, and thanks to the vision of our state leaders. And on that note, Governor Healey, I want to thank you and your very talented administration for making such historic commitments to public higher education. The return on the investments that you're making will absolutely transform the lives of our students and help to propel Massachusetts forward. So thanks again for coming to our campus today. But the stars of our university are our students. They really are. And I get to mention and have invited to the podium one of our students. Of our 10,000 students, 95% come from Massachusetts. Our speaker in a second comes from Berkeley. Do I have that right, Tommy? Berkeley, Mass. Tommy began his journey at BSU as a freshman. He had an interest in technology and security. It took him about a nanosecond to get a job in our IT department, to take over the IT department and to reach the highest levels of what a student employee can do on this campus. But his skills did not go unnoticed. His exceptional work caught the attention of Cyber Trust Massachusetts. Colleagues are here from Cyber Trust, where he collaborated with professional staff in the Security Operations Center, monitoring systems, conducting security assessments for local municipalities. He even won the prestigious Cyber Trust Capture the Flag competition. Now that's a game, but it's actually happening for real in the world right now. But even with his schedule, Tommy's been so kind in going back to high schools as a volunteer to try to inspire the next generation of cybersecurity professionals as well. This is his last semester. He's going to graduate at Bridgewater State at Gillette Stadium in a couple of months, and he's already secured a position at MITRE even before graduating. Ladies and gentlemen, Tommy Rose.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. Just to reintroduce myself, my name's Tommy Rose. I'm currently in my senior year of my undergraduate degree. I'm studying computer science, and I have a lot to say about Bridgewater. I have to say, when picking colleges, it was not easy. I'm sure it's not easy for a lot of people, as we can all agree, but I know when it came down to picking colleges, it was between two things. I knew at the time I had a passion for cybersecurity, and I know I wanted to go into the cybersecurity field. But another thing was the financial aspect of picking a college. I don't come from a particularly wealthy family. My father is a chief of police in a small town in Massachusetts, and my mom doesn't work for medical reasons. So being able to pick a university where I can thrive and not walk out with tens of thousands of dollars of debt was super important to me. And actually, it was my senior year that I found out that the cyber range in the SOC program was starting at Bridgewater. So at that point, I knew where I wanted to go, and I started my journey here at Bridgewater State University. And I made a vow to myself that I would take every opportunity that the university had for me. And happily, I can say that. And when I ended up starting here at Bridgewater, I ended up taking a job off at the IT front desk over in the library, where essentially I fix computers, I help students with tech-related issues, and staff with tech-related issues as well. And for a year I did that, and then after that, I ended up getting promoted into the security department on campus, where I was partially responsible with the security of our students and the digital assets on campus, which was a great opportunity. And after that, I ended up taking an internship with Cyber Trust Massachusetts, which is an internship opportunity that we have on campus that is in partnership with the organization, where essentially we deal with the security of underprivileged entities and towns and municipalities. So I ended up doing that for around 8 or 9 months, and then I ended up getting a formal offer with the MITRE Corporation just about 2 weeks ago. Thank you. And like I said, it was over 2 weeks ago, and I've had a lot of time to reflect. School starts tomorrow. I just started my position back with school security, and over the time, I've been hearing a lot of congratulations about my new position. But in reflecting about all of my accomplishments over the past 3-4 years, in all honesty, it wouldn't have meant much if I didn't have the opportunities that Bridgewater and their partnerships like Cyber Trust Massachusetts offered. I honestly wouldn't have had the experience to get the job that I have now if it wasn't for my IT position in Cyber Trust Massachusetts. I would have never found out about Cyber Trust Massachusetts if I never came to Bridgewater State University, and a plethora of all of my other accomplishments in my education. So in 6 months from now, I'll be having a degree. I'll be starting a 6-figure position, and I'll be walking out relatively debt-free. Yeah. And with that, with all of the opportunities I've had with Bridgewater, I really want to take this time to thank all of the BSU faculty, all of the state officials for fueling the success of our university, and not only that, but the students here that come and have success stories like mine. Thank you. And with that. And with that, I'd like to invite the governor back up to the podium.
Thanks, Tommy. Tommy, what a great success story, right? That's what this is all about. And not to take away anything from you and your efforts, but I think you'd say the more we make opportunities available to our young people, the more young people are going to succeed. Their families are going to succeed. Our employers and businesses are going to succeed. Massachusetts is going to win. And that's what today is all about. Do you want to say something? You got 3 kids. Say something about the 3 kids you got. It matters. You're an answer there.
Yeah, I'll be really brief. The Gov just mentioned on the way in, I was talking about, I'm a Salem State grad, as is my husband, so it's great to be here, and go Vikings. Thank you, Adria. But I also have, we've got 3 kids, so we've got Vikings, we've got Bears, as was mentioned, and we have Lancers from Worcester State. So like, we are a family that's been invested in public higher ed. We know the benefit of that full time. We know what that means for them, what that means for our Commonwealth. Future teachers, future nurses, future cybersecurity professionals, future business owners. That's what's happening on our public higher ed campuses, and that's why I think we're so thrilled to invest in them, to continue to see places like this, who often are competing with private schools, that their students don't have to work and they just have different opportunities. We want to level that up. We know who's here. We know what it means when we make investments. And these are our buildings. It won't be cheaper 10 years from now to put a Band-Aid on things and wait. That's leveraging the dollars that we have. That's good management practices. And that's investing in the next generation. So it's really thrilled to be here for sure.
Oh, thank you. All right. Excellent. I also see Chancellor Julie Chen from the University of Massachusetts Lowell with us today. Good morning. We're happy to take any questions on topic. Okay. Thanks, everybody, for coming, all right? Excellent. Good luck tomorrow. You guys are back in school. Awesome. Yes?
I didn't mean to interrupt you, I'm sorry.
You can interrupt me anytime, especially if you're giving me swag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On behalf of Bridgewater State University, we'd like to offer you a cyber team shirt.
Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations. All right, this is great. Thank you so much. All right.